us a sense for that team. Like, who are the makeup of that team? Like, who I know you've said like HR is kind of like quarterbacking the process. I love that you brought in IT. Who else are the key pillars that you're considering? And then are they like in it from the beginning, or are there folks that are like kind of coming in and out like throughout your process?
Yeah, most of them play a part. So they're going to be coming in and out. They're not going to be necessarily in every single meeting from the beginning. So for instance, supervisors, we rely heavily on them to disseminate information at, they're kind of their normal meeting cadences. Um, and so they'll come in intermittently whenever we have information to send. IT is going to be at the beginning, just again, for preparation purposes, getting people into their accounts, things like that, password resets. We want to make sure that that's all considered at the forefront. And then additionally, it kind of depends on your organization, how you're set up. I've worked for a small organization where I had direct contact with our vendors. So, the Blue Crosses, the Priority Healths, the Delta Dentals, all of them, and I'm coordinating with them directly. I've worked with mid-sized businesses where we've had a broker, and I've worked directly with the broker, and they've worked with the vendors. And I've worked for large corporations where they have a corporate team that kind of does all of that, and then we get fed information, and then it's our task to kind of deliver it. So depending on what organization and kind of how your setup is with the level that you're at in terms of communicating directly with those individuals, it's going to be different for everybody, but certainly you're going to want to have the vendors on that. You're going to want to have either the broker or anybody from a corporate team that's going to be managing some of that information.
I feel like it's so great that you have that experience across different levels of organization size wise, because you have appreciation for that process. I mean, I think it just shows another, feather in an HR manager's hat of the fact that you're not just planning around open enrollment, you're a communication strategist.
Mhm.
That's a huge part of it, right? Like you're having to almost treat this like, I come from marketing world, of course. So, but this is like a campaign,
Mhm.
to my world. And so you have to understand how you can work backwards and then also check those boxes over time. Any sort of project management, you go through it. But again, I think it's really great that you have that experience from, small to medium to large so that you can really appreciate that process.
And I
Um,
think I think too, like it's important for the department's credibility and how do you build trust with other departments, right? And I've never had the notion that HR comes first, business stops. We have to do this, right? I want to show that we can be partners in this, and part of that is showing respect for other people's time and looping them in at the very early stages so they can understand that I am considerate of operations, right? Yes, open enrollment is a priority and it's important that people get their benefits, but we also understand the business has to be run. And so we want to partner, right? We don't want it to be an HR says this is what needs to happen. It's about the partnership and how do we earn and build that trust at the very front of the process. So that way, again, as we continue to work as business partners, that relationship continues to grow in other areas as well. So it has a lot to do with just even being considerate of other people's times and other business processes that are going on, right? It's not just us.